So hi there, or terve. Welcome to the University of Oulu. My name is Mairead, and I am a student here in the master's degree program in Education and Globalization. I'm really excited to give you a little tour of our campus area today, and I thought I would start outside here in the not so cold October air to give you an idea of how beautiful Oulu itself is. So let's head on through this architecture degree program structure. And over to the university. So first, before we go in, I'd just say that the University of Oulu is a very large campus. It's almost a kilometer long when you walk from one end to the other, so we won't have the chance to see everything. But I'll give you an idea of what it feels like. We'll start out today in the University of Oulu master's program in architecture space. It looks like there's a pianist in here, so you can enjoy the lovely music. So this space has been a gathering space a couple of times for me. Let's keep going and see what some of the other places the University of Oulu has to offer. Just across the hall, we have the Fab Lab, or the Fabrication Laboratory, where folks can make objects and do research. Take a peek around. It looks like they're pretty busy in there. Let's give them some space. So I've been a student here for a year and a half. My program is a cohort model program, and because it's education and globalization, our program intentionally draws from all over the world. So I have classmates from all parts of the world, and we share our experiences, particularly as students of different education systems in our courses. But today I'd mostly like to show you and give you a feel for the university and for the spaces, the student spaces that are available to us. So right here, we're walking into the sort of main entrance lobby area. Let's see. Here I've been to a couple of student fairs, job fairs, club fairs, that sort of thing. Sometimes we have booths set up all in this space so that when you first walk into the university in the morning, you can see what's going on, see who's coming in to talk to the University of Oulu students. Down this way, we have a good half of the university. There's a couple of student restaurants, and I've also been in the University of Oulu Chamber Orchestra, which meets down at the very end of the university every Tuesday night, and that's been really a joy for me to be able to connect with people, both from the community and students in the University of Oulu through music. First, let's start with the Tellis space. So in this space, I've used pretty much every function that's available to us as students here. I've been to well-being tutoring cafe events, for example, art, where I've made some paintings, some play to let off a little stress and connect to my peers outside of my degree program. That's happened over here in this backstage, or front stage area, stage area. You can take a quick peek around. It looks like somebody's setting up. Then in the main area of TELUS, we have a lot of workspaces where people can meet and chat. Over on this side, there are, as you can see, a couple of little student box areas where you can self-study. You can reserve those spaces if you need somewhere that's quieter but still in a public space. So I really enjoy that possibility to reserve spaces there. I'd like to show you quickly some of the other highlights of the TELUS area, for example, the Nest. So the Nest here is a lovely quiet area where you can come and relax, sleep, study, read a book, hang out with friends. And I love that wooden feel of this space. They ask you to take off your shoes before you head on in. Over here, there are a couple of classrooms as well that I've used to meet with a couple of professors. We've had conference meetings over here for conferences that are held in Oulu. And then back in this area, we have lots of extra study space to talk to folks and study on your own. Great. I think that a while ago, before COVID, there was a chance to hold an international festival here in this area. I had seen some photos and videos, and during COVID, that changed a little bit, of course, but we're starting to get back to that. So maybe this year I'll find that. We're already headed towards the dinner hour here in Finland, but let's take a quick walk down the stairs, or maybe we can just peek from here. Let's see. Here we have a cafe, for example, but downstairs there's a food option, and you can get a really cheap student meal here every day or twice a day if you want to be lazy and not cook and let the university take care of you a little bit. And with every meal you get a lovely salad, main course, and bread, a drink, and there's always a dessert option as well if you want to buy that. There's a good couple of cafes around the university, and whenever I'm running too late, I'll grab a coffee, I'll grab a pulla, which is a Finnish cardamom bun, and bring it to class with me. Let's head on this way. So it's starting to close up for the day, but there's another cafe here. As you can see, there are a lot of folks gathering here still. I know I've seen a couple of times there's a board game club that meets in this area. The university has a lot of lovely spaces for students to meet formally and informally with one another and with professors. Here we have a little info spot. I think in my first month or two at the university, I was here a lot, checking one of these maps and asking the security and office administrators how to find my classroom. As you can see, the University of Oulu is very big. We've just walked, let's see, I think we started here and we walked just to there. So the university is very long. But let's see if we can make it over to the Pegasus Library and take a look around there before the tour is over. And on our way, we have up here some lovely technology loan programs. Here's a laptop vendor spot that I've used a number of times if I have a program that I need to use that I can't download onto my computer. That's a university software or something. And if you get a 24/7 card, then you can use that to unlock and just grab a laptop anytime you need it. And I think you would be able to use it even as your only laptop. So it's really generous and helpful, both if you've forgotten technology or if your computer breaks if you don't have something. It's great. It's a great accessibility part. Out here you can see there's a fun chess set, a giant chess set, which is a blast. And I've had a couple of lectures over in the rooms next door that during the day the blinds have been pulled up and the sun's pouring in and there's a lovely chess set outside. So that's quite fun. Let's see. I'm going to give you a chance up here to look at some lovely mural. There's always some new art exhibition or club event or other community thing going on in the university. If we head on over here, we'll head over to the Fudo lunch spot. I think it's all closed down for the day, but maybe you can get an idea of how many people are at the university, that they have to have a lot of capacity for students. So yeah, you can take a peek around here. And there's where the food is served. It's buffet style. I love this spot because they also have a little coffee spot and you can grab your coffee over here on the way to the library. So the University of Oulu shares space on this end with the University of Applied Sciences as well. So that means we have other students. In Finland, universities are separated by vocational type studies and solely academia type studies. Of course, there is a lot of collaboration between the two. For example, I did a project where I interviewed one of the professors who's doing educational exchange. And he's a professor at the University of Oulu Applied Sciences, so I was talking to him last year. Outside you can see, maybe you can see that there's some lovely statues. This space always feels very open and bright to me. I'll just say before we go into the library that it's a large library and there's some spaces upstairs that you can use 24/7 and reserve the study rooms for a group or for an individual. Otherwise, the library is open and available to check out textbooks and research-based books, and you can even request books that the library doesn't have that you need. Let's head on in and you can take a look around. So it's really been a pleasure getting to show you around the university. This is the Linnanmaa Campus, so we have a whole nother campus that hopefully you'll also get the chance to look at. But this is where most of our education programs, our teaching programs, the School of Architecture, of course, a lot of the technology, research, this is where all of that goes on. So welcome. Tervetuloa.